Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm back with another 5 stage 99 clears daily, this time against Ebony Maw. For this one you may need more than one rage, but here's the thing, if a certain character requires rage to clear stage 99, you don't necessarily have to do stage 99 every day, right? You can just take it down to 90 or something and do it with a regular proc. That being said, some people ask if I'm actually doing those clears every day. The answer is yes and no. Yes, I use pretty much the same teams, and no, I don't do stage 99 every day. I go down to around stage 90 and look for a stage that doesn't have blade twisters. Hate those. Alright, let's move to the ebony clears. The first, the fastest one, and probably the easiest one is with WBU. It's a one-shot. The team I will use is BRB as a lead and Phyla and Taskmaster as support. Phyla is a must use, but you can use any support instead of Taskmaster. You must use Weapon X as a striker in this run. If your WBU is not well built, or you don't have enough energy attack from cards maybe, and you can't one-shot Ebony, you can always do the two-shot method. Just keep in mind, don't attack before the co-op becomes ready to use for the second time. I did explain why in detail in the Call Obsidian video, so I'm not gonna repeat myself. The rotation again is the same: co-op, 4, cancel 5, cancel 3, cancel 6, and boom, Ebony is dead. Alright, for the second clear I will use the Nimrod method. I will show you 2 runs here with Luna and Sharon, so again think of those as 2A and 2B. So the team is White Fox lead, Nimrod in team, and Luna or Sharon for DPS. The first run will be with Luna. She's pretty much one of the best options to use here. She deals elemental damage, she has CC, and she can take advantage of White Fox's tier 2 passive. The CC part is really important against Ebony. This guy iframes a lot, and when he iframes past the first phase, gets that buff that reduces damage taken. Here we will also try to utilize White Fox's CC, so Ebony stays in one place while Nimrod applies the all defense down. Luna does not have all defense down, so we rely solely on Nimrod for reaching the cap. That's another reason why CC is important. So at the start, immediately switch to Luna and charge your tier 3 to around 80%. Switch back to White Fox and use her first skill immediately, and use her 5th skill to CC Ebony when there's around 6 or 7 seconds cooldown for switching back to Luna. White Fox has charm on her 5th skill that lasts 5 seconds, but it applies at the end, so let it run. Switch to Nimrod, use his 4th skill to apply the all defense down. Switch to Luna and start with her 4th skill to CC and keep Ebony in one place. That will fully charge the tier 3. Do tier 3 delayed cancel, 5 delayed cancel, 2, 1, 3. Again, you want to charge the tier 3 to around 80% for the next time, and rinse and repeat. This is pretty easy clear, mainly because Luna has CC. My Luna has rage, but she can probably do it with a regular proc. Though playing her with a regular proc is a pain in the rear end. The other clear with Sharon will be a lot harder. First, she doesn't deal elemental damage, though that won't make a huge difference. The bigger problem will be that she doesn't have any CC. That's why pay attention that I will be using CC strikers. I will use 3 CC strikers, all of them with different type of CC. Professor X has Mind Blast, Apocalypse has Mind Control, and Magneto has Paralysis. You don't want to use CC strikers with the same type of CC because that will kick in the resist mechanic sooner. The playstyle is absolutely the same as Luna. Switch immediately to Sharon, charge her tier 3 to around 70% this time. Switch to White Fox, CC Ebony, switch to Nimrod, apply all defense down, switch back to Sharon and do 3 cancel 5 delayed cancel tier 3. She doesn't have CC, so we will be relying on the strikers for that. That's why this will be considerably harder to execute and you may need to retry it a couple of times. Other options for the Nimrod method are Professor X, Scarlet Witch, Apocalypse come to mind. Okay, let's move to the third clear. Ebony Maw is one of the bosses that Holiday Deadpool cannot clear. This is because she deals physical damage. Because of that, this time we will utilize her high all defense down from her 5th skill in the same fashion as we do with Nimrod. Two components of the team will be the same: Enchantress Lead, you don't need her uniform, and Holiday Deadpool. The character I will be using for DPS will be Apocalypse. I have CTP of Destruction on him. Again, you can use here any of the characters I mentioned that you can use with the Nimrod method. This is essentially the Nimrod method version 2. There is one difference here. Enchantress has a charm, but you don't actually want to use it. As a matter of fact, you don't want to switch to Enchantress at all. The reason for that is Deadpool is a striker for Enchantress. Deadpool strikes for Enchantress when she is attacking, and when Deadpool strikes, she uses her 3rd skill, which has 55% all defense down that lasts for 10 seconds. You can see why this is a problem. When you switch to Deadpool to set the all defense down cap to 80% with her 5th skill, well, it will be more than 80% with the debuff increased lead, of course. It will not be possible because it has been set to 55% already while Deadpool was striking for Enchantress. That's why you don't want to switch to Enchantress and attack with her at all. So here's how it's gonna go. At the beginning, switch immediately to Apocalypse and charge his tier 3 to around 70%, 80%. Switch to Deadpool, run around until there is around 2 to 3 seconds for Apocalypse to be ready. Do Deadpool's 5th skill and give it like 2 seconds to fill the all defense down cup. Remember, Apocalypse doesn't have all defense down, so we rely solely on Deadpool for that. Switch back to Apocalypse, do 3 cancel 4 delayed cancel tier 3. Now I'm skipping the 5th skill here because my Apocalypse has CTPD on. If you have Rage or Judgment on yours, definitely do 3 cancel 4 delayed cancel 5 delayed cancel tier 3. If you do that with a regular proc, you will proc early pretty much all the time. I mean, even without using the 5th skill, doing only 3 cancel 4 delay cancel tier 3, I did proc early and missed the proc a couple of times in this run. Alright, let's move to the 4th clear. This one probably will surprise you. Here I'm gonna use the Doctor Strange weapon hex method. You already know about that, but what will surprise you is which character I'm using as DPS. It is Cyclops. This was the slowest clear, to be perfectly honest. There are a couple of reasons for that. First, obviously Cyclops is not the strongest character. Second, my Cyclops' build is very mediocre. Third, he's rocking only a fire damage obelisk and it has only 180% proc, not even 200%. Considering all of that, it is a bit impressive, to be honest. This time I will use Cyclops as a lead instead of Doctor Strange because Cyclops' lead is slightly better, 35% all attack to 30% energy attack. Also, that will kind of play into our situation since Cyclops is a tier 3 character. I would have switched immediately to him either way to charge his tier 3 at the beginning. So here's how it's gonna go. We start charging the tier 3 immediately. Usually with other tier 3 characters, we kind of leave the tier 3 charged at around 70-80%. But with Cyclops, we need to charge it fully. Essentially, we're gonna use only his tier 3 to deal damage because he doesn't have any other cancelable skills with residual damage. Obviously, you can still leave it not fully charged if you have Rage or Judgment on your Cyclops because you will be able to just spam immediately after the switching. But with regular proc, that's too risky because that can activate the proc prematurely, which in turn would lose you a big chunk of damage. So I'll charge the tier 3 fully, switch to Doctor Strange, charge his tier 3, use it, switch to Hex, do her 4th skill, switch immediately back to Cyclops and do his tier 3 skill. It's that simple. Again, charge his tier 3, switch to Doctor Strange and rinse and repeat. This specific run could have been a bit faster, but pay attention at the end. I don't know what the hell was happening, but a couple of times the proc was too late, and then during the tier 3 before the last one, the proc didn't activate at all. It was such a BS. But you know what? The boy can do it, even with 180% proc. Alright, let's move to the 5th clear. I'm gonna actually show you 6 distinct clears this time. First, you will see Odin. I will use a similar team that I used against Obsidian, stage 99. Odin and Mystique, with one difference. I will use Dr. Voodoo as a lead instead of White Fox. This time against Ebony, Odin doesn't necessarily need the help of the higher all defense down of Mystique. He can do it with any support. As a matter of fact, I do have a video of him clearing stage 99 without the Mystique trick. I will drop a comment below with the link if you want to check it. Here's how it's gonna go. At the start, I'm gonna immediately switch to Odin and just literally spam every skill. I won't even let them start, let alone finish. I'm doing this just to charge his tier 3. Switch to Mystique and wait until Odin is ready to be switched back to. When the time comes, use Mystique's Awakening. Switch immediately to Odin and do 3 cancel 2 cancel 5 delayed cancel tier 3. And then you do the regular rotation, 5 delayed cancel 4 delayed cancel 3 cancel 2 delayed cancel 1 delayed cancel. From that point forward, I will also try to utilize Dr. Voodoo's mind control to CC Ebony. So now you want to switch to Dr. Voodoo in between. Use his 4th skill to mind control. Remember, it applies at the end of the skill, so let it finish. Switch immediately to Mystique, use her Awakening, switch to Odin and do 3 cancel 2 cancel 5 delay cancel tier 3, then do the regular rotation and switch back to Voodoo and pretty much rinse and repeat. To be fair, I could have used Voodoo the first time too, but I guess I just forgot to do that. But at the end it doesn't really matter, to be honest, because in the very first phase Ebony doesn't go into iframes, and the only reason we try to mind control him is to stop him from doing exactly that. Alright guys, now I'm gonna talk about the next clear a bit before I leave you. I'm gonna use Professor X for that clear. That will be the 6th distinct clear. So if you can make use of one of the previous ones, you can just replace it with this one. Now this guy is an absolute monster. Not only he doesn't need any tricks and any old defense down from other characters, he doesn't even require a debuff increase lead. Not only that, but also he doesn't even need Nick Fury lead to clear stage 99 Ebony. In this run, I will be using the budget Fury for elemental damage dealing blast types, aka the Ancient one. Ancient one has 45% all attack increase lead that applies to blast types, and he has a tier 2 passive that increases all elemental damage by 25%. He also gives 25% ignore dodge, but that part is irrelevant here. As I said, Professor X is an absolute monster. Probably Scarlet Witch can do that too, if not with Ancient One, at least with Nick Fury. I don't have Scarlet Witch, but I know they are pretty similar. Essentially, she's kind of the female version of Professor X. At least that's what I hear. The bad part of the Professor X clear is that he kind of requires rage. He has weird cooldowns, so it's kind of hard to play him with a regular proc. But again, if you have a regular proc on him, you don't have to clear stage 99. You can just dial it down a bit. Alright guys, so what do we have? Better A Bill with an Obelisk, one-shot method. Luna Snow with Rage, or Sharon with CTP of Energy, the Nimrod method. Apocalypse with CTP of Destruction, taking advantage of the all defense down of Holiday Deadpool. Cyclops with an Obelisk, Doctor Strange / Weapon Hacks method. So the first 4 clears don't require Rage if you use Sharon instead of Luna. And for the 5th clear you can choose between Odin with Rage, requires a debuff increase lead, or Professor X with Rage, manhandling Ebony. So I guess it turns out actually maybe you need only 1 Rage a game. So it's pretty nice, huh? Alright guys, I'll leave you here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Got enough of every melody, they all sound the same. Yeah. For my broken heart, no remedy, but maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. I do you do cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. Oh, my darkest memories, now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do it all 'cause I'm feeling so good. Yeah. What's on the other side of inhibition? Ooh, I do 'cause I'm feeling so cool.